welcome back to my little YouTube channel. I'm Emma. Thank you guys for clicking on my video. I really hope you enjoy this one. Today's video is going to be a then versus now makeup style video. I can't believe how much my makeup technique has changed throughout the year, but especially I feel like it's really changed from like 2019 to now. Just how people contour their face, how they do their eyebrows. I just think so much has changed, and it's not until you actually think about it. I don't actually do my makeup actually the same at all anymore, so I'm going to talk you through how I used to do it and how I do it now. I'm going to start off with my eyebrows. I'm going to do this side of my face how I used to do it, and then this side of my face how I do it now. And look at the state of my hand. That one's not too bad, but that one, oh my god. I had such a disaster with the fake tan. To start off with, I've actually already got a layer of foundation on, and I've covered up any blemishes that I have to start off as a base. But I'm going to go straight in and do my eyebrows. So how I used to do it, I used to use a brow powder. It's all about the powders, I think. And you used to use like an angular brush and like just make it as solid as you can. Oh, I haven't used this in so long. It feels really weird to like fill in my eyebrows like so much. Oh goodness. And blend it out. Like, I actually just use a brow pencil now, and I just don't even really fill my eyebrows in that much at all. Oh, this is scary. My brows are a lot thicker now, but I'm going to make them look a bit thinner because they were really thin at one point. I used to really make sure there was absolutely no gaps whatsoever. And then I used to get a concealer like this. I used to get a concealer brush, and then I used to go like this, and then I used to really make sure I had a really sharp line. When I look back at pictures, my eyebrows, like, I don't know, they make such a big difference to your face. And I used to go right underneath. I used to not be able to do my makeup without doing this. Wow, strong brow. And like the trend at the moment, like straight brows are really the trend. To have like that end of your brow going up like that, like the fox eye kind of look. But back in the day, a few years ago, it was really popular to have like really arched brows. No brow gel whatsoever. But then now I brush my eyebrows up. I've laminated them, which is now a trend. They're super thick and hairy. And I use a Charlotte Tilbury brow pencil in colour Supermodel Brow, I think this is called. And I literally just fill them in a little bit. I actually like to use my HD brow pencil. Can't remember what this pencil's called, but it's like their original brow pencil, and you like sculpt it so it's as fine as you can get it, and then you actually just put in hair strokes. So I'm going to use a little mirror for this. You're literally drawing in like every individual hair, which looks so much more natural than that block brow. This is a black pencil, but because the lines are so fine that you can make with it, it actually doesn't look too dark at all. I think you need it quite a dark colour so that you can actually see the hairs. Whoops. Unless you do it a bit too heavy-handed like me. And I actually like to use a clear brow gel. This is just a NYX one. It's called Control Freak, and I just love to now brush my brows up, comb them through so they look nice and hairy and a bit more natural, but they also look neat as well. Moving on to how I contour my face, that has changed quite a lot, I would say. I still like to use a stick style contour thing. I used to use a palette that had like different colours of contour, had a really dark contour colour in. I don't know, contour palettes were just such a thing. But now I just like to use a simple one colour. This is the Studio MAC Studio Fix foundation stick. I used this in my previous video for my makeup look, but I use this in NW43 and it's pretty good colour for me anyway. I used to contour, like I feel like I used to just do a big line right down to my mouth pretty much, and then the only place I'd contour was probably there, and then I would think I used to just go like that. That used to be pretty much it. But now I like to put the contour mainly just there. I put a little bit there as well, and mainly underneath my jaw like that. Whereas before I think I used to actually just whack it right on my jaw like that. So yeah, and then I also like to put a bit just there as well, and probably a bit more on my forehead, but bringing it all the way down to the side, so the whole of the side of that face is pretty much contoured. So you go in like this basically, and that side's just the basic contour where I feel like when Kim Kardashian started the whole contouring trend, the pictures that I saw online, it was always just right down to the mouth, but you don't really need that. That's not natural, to be honest, so I just like to put a little bit there, and you can always build it up as you go along. So I'm going to just blend that in. And one of the main differences when I'm contouring, I used to literally just get the contour stick and just go right down the side of my nose, boom, like that. That's pretty much all I used to do, maybe a little around the bottom maybe, and literally start it like there, and then blend it out with a beauty blender. But now I get the contour stick and I actually use a little brush like this, and then I just like blend a little bit on there, and then I go all the way from here, and I go more on top of my nose, just a real subtle like contour. I feel like if you put contour how I used to, like right on the side of each of your nose, either side of your nose, it just makes like your nose look bigger, to be honest. So yeah, I like to do the contouring mainly on the top of my nose, not too much, and then I like to bring it in my eye socket as well, so you're not leaving that part out, so it doesn't just start randomly there, so you're actually bringing it up as well. Because you're blending it with a brush already, you don't need to blend it anymore, and you don't get any like harsh lines, which I think is quite easy to do when you're just putting on the stick, painting it all over your face. Then I even bring that out to here as well. I don't think I ever used to put any contour around my lips, but I actually like to now. I get the same little brush and I just put a little bit at the bottom and a little bit in my Cupid's bow as well. And moving on to where I put my concealer and stuff, I feel like there was a huge trend of putting a really pale under eye concealer in like a triangle underneath your eye, and that has just completely changed now. I keep seeing videos on Instagram of people just putting like concealer here and like in little areas, so I'm going to show you what I actually do. So I used to use probably like a really pale concealer. I think I'm going to use this one. I'm going to just show you what I used to do. I feel like it was that whole section like that. Then where else did I used to put it? Down my nose maybe. Literally in a straight line. I'm trying to do it on that side of my face so I can show you the other side how I do it. Oh, and I probably would have added a bit extra on the arch, like that, just like that. And then now I like to use this Flawless Fusion concealer in Laura Mercier one, and this is in colour 1C, so it's a bit of a pinky colour. And instead of doing a whole massive triangle like that, all I do now is I put a bit here, going right up there. I put a bit there. I also put a little bit there around my nose. Bit here. And then I like to put a bit on my chin, and then I sometimes even put a bit along my jawline like that. So yeah, it's really changed how it's gone from just whacking a great big triangle underneath your eye to dotting it in these different areas. Oh, forgot to do the nose as well. So I actually only put this probably there and then on the end, and I like to just put a little bit there as well. So I'm just gonna blend all of that in with my beauty blender. Hopefully you can tell a difference when I blend it in. Even now you can tell how much contour I probably used to put on. I need to like blend that out a little bit. So I don't think it used to look quite that dark, but I mean it probably did. I used to love a dark contour. Like the amount of under eye concealer as well. Whew, just to make this whole section just, I don't know, covered in concealer when you really don't need that much. It's just blending out all over the place. And like you can already tell, like with just putting that bit just there and just there, it just really brightens up like the right places. It really makes like that section pop out more, whereas on that side it's just flat, to be honest with you. So yeah, I feel like that's one of the main changes with how I do my makeup now. And then on this side, we're putting the contour more underneath your jaw, and then like a lighter colour on the edge of your jaw. It just really makes your jawline look like even better, to be honest with you. And then on this side, you can just see like it's just a dark line, which isn't really doing much for your jawline. It's just making it look darker. So yeah, I've really noticed, especially in photos, you can just really tell a difference from when you put it more underneath and like blended it down. This makes everything look a bit more pronounced. And with powder, I still use my favourite Laura Mercier powder, but I used to get a big powder puff and literally like make my skin look as matte as possible. So I'm just going to use my beauty blender for that, and I really used to pack it on, make my skin look so matte. But I feel like that was a trend, to have really matte skin, matte lips, matte everything. Matte brows as well. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a like matte skin still, but maybe not quite so matte. Just a little bit of a more of a natural glow is nice. What I do now is just use a brush and really lightly just dab it on. So even this side, it just feels heavier with the amount of powder I probably used to put on. I think I used to actually try and bake with this as well. Let's try and give that a go. Do a bit like that, a whole massive section. Like that. But now, I don't even think I use that for baking very often, but I don't do it in a big section like that. I would probably get my other little tiny powder, which is more of a white colour. It's a lot finer, and I would still use a beauty blender to do this, but I would literally just put it basically where I put the concealer earlier. So just a little bit here, here as well, maybe a bit down there, and then I also put it here. And maybe a bit on my chin. I also like to put it here. Like that. So that is a mega difference with how I do any baking now. I'm just going to dust that out. Another thing with baking, I've also been doing this as well. I get it from here underneath your contour, and then I've been going like up like that. Maybe not quite like that. But so it's kind of like that kind of shape. I feel like it just makes your cheeks look really nice. I'm just going to dust that out. Moving on to my eyes, I used to really love a cut crease, and that was just such a huge trend in makeup. Not so much anymore, it's more like the foxy eye look now, but it just goes to show how makeup trends come and go so quickly. But yeah, I'm gonna have a go at a cut crease. I don't even know how I used to do it. Probably lots of concealer on top of eyeshadow. I remember trying to make my eyes look as big and as round as I could. None of this fox eye, long, elongated, nothing like that. I'm just gonna try and do it how I think I used to. With a darker colour. Oh, that's a bit dark. But I definitely remember doing like a darker colour here. And try to do a cut crease. Maybe use my brush for this. This could go horribly wrong. I just don't know how I had the time to do this. I would definitely use a black eyeliner and do it all the way along, quite a thick line all the way along, like that. Not too bad actually. I would probably use like a real gold colour. It's really not going too well. I'm trying my best. And then I remember I definitely used to put like a really pale shimmery colour, like a lot here, like loads like that. Yep. And then a bit more under there as well. I probably would have still put a little bit of eyeshadow under here, but probably just towards the outer edge. I probably would have also put on a big false eyelash that was really, really round, really thick, really long, but I actually don't own any eyelashes anymore apart from like individual ones. Moving on to what I do now, I always curl my eyelashes, just my natural eyelashes, and I always get my matte bronzer first, and I kind of go over where I contoured before and then bring it up here as well. And then I also sometimes bring it down my nose just a little bit to blend it all together. Then I'm just going to use this colour, which is my favourites, and just do a tiny bit on like the outer edge of my eye, outer corner should I say, and then get the same colour or maybe a lighter one and just do it like right underneath on the bottom lash line as well, and kind of blending it in with this whole section as well. I normally get my black eyeliner and sometimes do eyeliner and then put eyeshadow over the top, but on an everyday basis I would probably just use my angular eyeshadow brush and then use like a dark-ish colour and then do an eyeliner like wing just with the eyeshadow, so it's a lot more subtle, not as dramatic as that side. So when I'm doing my eyeshadow liner, I really only bring it to like the middle of my eye and then just bring it out quite a lot. I just don't bring it in any further than halfway because I just want to make my eye look longer and more elongated and more kind of foxy eyed. I used to really pack on the mascara as well, especially on the bottom lashes as well. I used to make sure that they were all covered, all looking really long and really defined. But now if I wanted my eyelashes to look really long, if I was going out or something, I would maybe if I could be bothered, put on some individual lashes and then go over the top with a little bit of mascara so they blend in, so they looked really, really natural. So yeah, I normally just put a little bit of mascara on the top with a black mascara. I often just like to put a little bit on my bottom lashes. I actually like to use a brown mascara for the bottom ones. This is a Max Factor one. It's in brown black, or black brown should I say. And I just put a little bit on the bottom lashes. And then with blusher, I don't even think I used to wear a lot of blusher. It always used to be a lot of highlight, like a lot of highlight, like here. So I'll do that in a minute, but the blusher that I really like, I've been using this one for the past year I think, is the colour Gina from NARS. And I like to just put my blusher now mainly just like a high point of my cheekbone, not too into the middle, just mainly here. Now what? What I like to use now is like an all over face powder, but this is from Hourglass and this is the Luminous Light powder, and I've got like the mini version, which is really handy. I just get this with my little brush and then I just go like here where I want my cheeks to look a bit more rounded and highlighted, a bit maybe on my forehead here, a little bit on the end of my nose and a little bit here. So it's kind of like a really subtle highlight. And where I used to put my highlight, oh gosh, I used to use this one from Becca, I think it was called Champagne Pop. That's still really nice, but I just think it's just way too much highlight for me. I don't even think I've got that anymore, don't know where that went, but I'm going to just show you what I used to do, and I'm going to just use the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter in this palette, and I used to really get it and put it just like that. I'm pretty sure I used to go right up there as well. So much highlighter. And then a lot on my Cupid's bow too. And more, probably more here as well. Just to make that arch of the brow really pop. One more thing is the lips. I feel like a couple of years ago when, like, I don't even know when it was, but the Kylie lip kits came out, it was all about matte lips. And the thought of just having such a dry matte lip now just really, oof. I don't know, my lips feel dry anyway. I don't want to put anything on them that's gonna dry them out even more. Still love a matte-ish lip, but just not as matte as I used to, because it used to just look so dry and just one solid colour. So I will try and recreate that on this side. I would show you with a Kylie lip kit that I used to have, but I just don't think I've got it anymore. I feel like it dried up loads. But I did used to really like it. I like the lip liners more than the actual lipstick itself. Just going to do half my lips. It's looking very strange. I used to fill in my whole lip with the lip liner. And then, what can I use now? I'm going to still use my favourite lipstick in my Tweedy from MAC. This is a really matte lipstick, but I'm just going to put that on like that. And then to make it as matte as I used to have it, I'm going to just put some powder on my lips. But now, what I like to do is I'll still use the same lip liner, but I would probably only go mainly around the edge with it. I actually think I might use this other lipstick, which is a Charlotte Tilbury one in the colour Very Victoria. This is a bit more of a moisturising lipstick. Such a nice colour. I don't know if you can really tell the difference, probably because I'm still using like the same kind of products, but I've tried to make that side as matte as I possibly could. But I also, on what I do now, I probably would use like even darker lip liner just to go around the outside just a little bit more, so it's more of like an ombre-y lip. And I never ever used to do that. I used to do the same colour lip liner with the same colour liquid lipstick over the top, so it's just a solid lip colour. Whereas now I use probably like 2 different lip liners and a different lipstick altogether, so it's going darker to lighter. But yeah, I think that's the finished look. So this side is what I used to do my makeup like. If I go back to my old Instagram photos, they were so edited, my eyebrows were so thin, my eye makeup was just so dramatic, my contour was on another level, so was my highlight. Yeah, I just really can't wait to get that off. But yeah, this side is more how I do it now. A lot more natural on the brow, more of a winged eye, foxy eye look, more of a dewier, nicer, not as matte skin, and less eyelashes, and more of a dewy lip as well. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love to know what you want me to film next. It could be literally anything at all, hair tutorial, whatever you want. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll